International Maritime Solid Bulk Cargoes Code, or the IMSB code. The the primer the primary aim of the IMSB code is to facilitate the safe stowage and shipment of solid bulk cargoes by providing information on the dangers associated with the shipment of certain types of solid bulk cargoes and instructions on the procedures to be adopted when the shipment of solid bulk cargoes is contemplated. So here is the safety precautions on solid bulk cargoes. First is the general requirements. No matter what solid bulk cargo you are carrying, the same general requirements apply for accepting them for shipment and loading them. The shipper must provide up-to-date information about the cargo's physical and chemical properties, and the exact information and documentation they must provide is listed under the assessment of acceptability of consignments for safe shipment, provision of information, and the declaration that the cargo information is correct. So second is the loading, inspecting, and preparing cargo spaces. So before loading a cargo, you must inspect and prepare the cargo spaces. Uh, we should check the bilge wells and strainer plates are prepared to facilitate drainage and prevent cargo entering the bilge system. So it may reduce the factors of affecting the ship's stability. Bilge lines, sounding pipes, and other service lines are in good order, and the cargo space fittings are protected from damage. Measures are in place to minimize dust entering living quarters or other interior spaces, or coming into contact with moving parts of like machinery and external navigational aids. And ventilation are in good working order. The third precaution is you must also make sure that the cargoes are properly distributed throughout the ship holds to ensure that the ship's structure is never overstressed. So we have to we have to check if the stowage of the cargoes are proper and just, because if not, it may affect the ship's stability when sailing on rough seas. And also it will protect structural damage if the cargo is properly stowed. uh, and also the master will need to calculate the stability for anticipated worst condition during the voyage as well as departure. So the IMSB code is divided into three groups. The group A, the cargoes which may liquefy if shipped at a moisture content exceeding their transportable moisture limit. Liquefaction means that a cargo can become fluid. This happens when the cargo is compacted by the ship's motion. The cargoes that are prone to liquefaction contain a certain quantity of moisture and small particles. Although they may look relatively dry and granular when loaded, it can still liquefy and even capsize the ship, and can occur when cargoes are cohesive and trim level. So the safe practice includes the recommendation for the safe loading and carriage of coal cargo. It states the coal may heat spontaneously and that some coals may be liable to self-heating, which could lead to spontaneous combustion. So we have to check the cargo holds if there are possible possible reaction with the coal, and that's all. So here, avoid all unnecessary handling, even the removal of wet clothing. If handling is necessary, then it should be as gentle as possible. Enclose the survivor in a plastic or blanket or everything. It's in a warm area when temperature. So pause. Pause. So here, in respect of coals liable to spontaneous heating, the code recommends that the hatches should be closed immediately after completion of loading in each cargo spaces. The atmosphere in the cargo spaces should be monitored, and if the carbon monoxide level shows a steady increase, then the cargo spaces should be completely closed down. The cover should could also be additionally sealed and suitable sealing tapes. So that's the group A. The group B is cargoes that possess chemical hazard that could give rise to a dangerous situation on ship. So here it is classified in two ways: the dangerous goods in solid form in bulk, or the materials hazardous only in bulk. So here we have a example. This is the gypsum crystal. So here it is usually found in conjunction conjunction with or near sulfur deposits. So it is used to build houses. So the effect of gypsum to people is respiratory disorders, bloody noses, eye irritation, extreme fatigue, and in some cases death. So its physical reactions with the person can cause irritation, skin rashes, coughing, sneezing, and nasal damage. So it is one of the toxins that we carry on solid bulk. So we have to so here is the formation found when carrying gypsum. So it has no special hazard. It is not non-combustible or has a low risk. Ventilation, it has no special requirement. The stowage and segregation, no special requirement. Hold cleanliness, no special requirement. The trim, the loading is trim in accordance with the relevant provisions required under Section 4 and Section 5. Its precaution is the bilge wells shall be clean, dry, and covered as appropriate to prevent the ingress of the cargo. So when discharging, it has no special requirement. So when cleaning up, we have to clean all the residues of this cargo. It can be shoveled or swept because it may be hard to it may be difficult to wash out this type of cargo. So the group C is cargoes that are neither liable to liquefy nor possess chemical hazards. So our example here is the grain. It is one of the most difficult and dangerous cargoes to carry in bulk because grains have a angle of repose or slip angle. So here is the angle of repose, which means that if the ship rolls more than 20 degrees, the cargo will ship. So, for example, when the ship, uh, let's say this is the cargo hold where the grain is stowed. So, when the ship rolled to the left, all the all the grains from the top will switch to this side, and it will have a effect on the stability of the ship. So the ship will develop a large lease lying on her side and still rolling will obviously cause a greater shift of cargo, which in turn will capsize the vessel. That's right. It will affect the stability, and to can also cause the capsizing of a vessel. So most authorities therefore request that the master proves that that his ship is capable of remaining stable even if the grain cargo ships. This is done by the compiling of the grain loading form, which fully outlines the ship's stability at the worst condition of passage. So, naturally, grain cargoes, like any foodstuff, are susceptible to claims with contamination from a previous cargo. In addition, can easily be damaged by water. So, vermin or pests can also be a problem. Cargo holds must be clean and dry prior to the loading and after unloading the grain cargo. So we have to clean before loading grain and also after unloading. So here is another example: wood chips. It is type of harmless cargo like the grain, so it has also hidden dangers because of oxidation leading to depletion of oxygen and can increase of carbon dioxide in the cargo hold in the adjacent spaces. Also, it is very easy to. It is also a flammable material, so it is readily combustible and can also ignite by friction. So, stowage factor can vary greatly with this cargo depending on the wood type, the moisture content, and the type of loading head used. Even different loading operators can achieve varying stowage factors with the same cargo.